How to generate more leads to sales on LinkedIn. So in my previous video, I spoke about how to generate leads on LinkedIn. I also mentioned that people focus so much on lead generation, they don't really spend enough time thinking how to convert those leads. So generating leads is important, but you have to know how to convert those. So I'm going to talk step by step as to ways that I convert it, how I teach that to my clients. And if this is useful, don't forget like and subscribe, because every single week I'm going to be uploading new videos on sales, generating more sales, doing better on LinkedIn, building your brand on LinkedIn, and selling through LinkedIn as well. So the first thing is you get an incoming inquiry through LinkedIn. The first thing you do before you do anything is look up their LinkedIn profile, of course. Who is this person? What do they do? Have a look at their content. Do they write content? Because not everybody does. Sometimes they just comment and post. What are they saying? Really, the most important thing is not everybody has a fully optimized LinkedIn profile, even though they should, is have a look at their website. Get a feel as to who they are and what they stand for. And then when you reach out to them, mention something you've read that really got your interest on their LinkedIn profile or their website. Now, this is important for a number of reasons. First of all, it makes you sound professional. Second of all, most people don't do it. I'm a huge believer in sales of doing the opposite of what most people do, because most people do sales badly. So you want to do sales well. So do the research, and when you reach out to them, mention something you've read, because it makes you professional and it makes you stand out. Okay. Second thing I've got here is if we don't hear anything, is make sure you follow up. Most people give up after one attempt. Then you have people at the other end of the spectrum who will spam me 3 times in a week, which is unacceptable and wrong, especially if I don't know you. Do not spam somebody 3 times in a week on email or LinkedIn. So whenever you follow up, again, don't just say, I didn't hear from you. Mention something you read on their website. If there's nothing new in their website, because again, most websites should be updated, but not everybody's news sections are updated, not everybody's blogs are up to date, just do a Google search. You might find something on Twitter or X. You might find something on YouTube. You might find an article they have done or something good written about the company. Refer to that. Again, most people don't do that. Okay. Third thing is LinkedIn's a marathon, not a sprint. Business takes time. If you rush the relationship, people can quite often sense that. Some people call it commission breath. Nobody wants to do business with somebody who's desperate for your business or who comes across as a bad salesperson. So make sure you take your time, you ask the right questions, okay? You really try to get to understand, because the more you understand somebody and the more you get somebody, the less you have to sell. The more value you give, the less you have to sell. The more trust you have with somebody, the less you have to sell. Selling is important, but when you build those foundations in first, the selling part is much easier. So don't rush the meeting. Far too many people rush a meeting. Far too many people are like, here's my calendar link straight away. Nobody wants that, because again, everybody else is doing that and you're rushing the deal. Don't try to get people off LinkedIn as quickly as possible. LinkedIn is a safe platform for many. So have at least 2 or 3 conversations in there. And then you can say, why don't we talk about this over Zoom? Or why don't we talk about this over a phone call? Or why don't we meet face to face? Or why don't we have a team call or a Google Meet? Whatever platform you choose to use. That's very important, because there's a process to everything. And there's a reason why you do things. And if people feel they're being pushed or rushed into something, they will then back off. And chances are they'll say no, or they just won't reply. And you can waste weeks, sometimes months, chasing the people who are just not interested. Next up is, what do they want? This comes from asking questions. So when people want to inquire about coaching, I don't go, of course, let's have a meeting. No, like, what do you want to achieve from coaching? Why do you want to achieve this? What deadline are you working to? If I don't know these things, the meetings will just be a waste of time. So it's not just having a meeting, it's having an agenda for the meeting. It's having some understanding of what somebody wants before the meeting. Don't just meet somebody because they want to. And don't think that because somebody is a CEO or a small business owner that all of a sudden that's your ideal client. There's a lot of CEOs out there, and sadly a lot of business owners out there, who will waste your time, who will take advantage of you. So you've got to have questions in place to help understand what they do. And if people don't want to fill those questions in, then don't meet them. You're not obliged to meet up with anybody, okay? And the last thing is, of course, make sure your profile is optimized, okay? Because if someone wants to do business with you and you can't see their LinkedIn profile clearly, or it's not optimized, or the banner is empty, or the photograph is from 10 years ago, it just makes your life more difficult. A great way to optimize your profile, and a great thing to add into your profile, of course, is recommendations, because it shows people the quality of the work you do. It shows people the experience of how you make them feel. This is called optimizing your profile. So make sure the profile is fully optimized, and make sure, if possible, you've written content quite recently, because if you've never written content, again, it makes life more difficult. If your content is like 6 months ago, again, it makes life more difficult. So just for a very quick recap, how to convert leads into sales on LinkedIn. Do your research on the person. Make sure you mention the research when you speak to them. Follow up, because most people don't follow up. When you do follow up, mention something about the person. Don't ask for a meeting too quickly. Show interest in the person you're speaking to. If they want coaching or if they want to work with you, ask the right questions. Make sure your profile is fully optimized. Make sure you're asking for recommendations. And lastly, make sure you have some up-to-date content there as well. There's a lot there, but this is all really important when it comes to converting leads to sales on LinkedIn. If this has been useful, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because every single week I'm uploading valuable content on sales or LinkedIn to help you do better in 2024 and beyond.